Hello, this is Brian Casey of the Imaging Wire. We are here at ECR 2025, and we're here in the booth of Bayer. We're here with Nelson Ambrogio and Rich Dewit. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us today.
Great to see you again, Brian.
Good to see you, Brian.
So, Nelson, can you talk a little bit about what some of the hot topics are here at ECR? You know, the theme of the show is planet radiology, and so sustainability and kind of green imaging has been a big theme. What are some of the things that Bayer is doing to contribute to that?
Yeah, so look, first of all, it's always super exciting to be at ECR again this year. I mean, great engagement opportunities with customers to understand what their needs are, and to continue to bring innovation to the market that really can help serve the customers and serve the patients that are also depending on those procedures to have answers about their health. And this year in particular, it's really exciting for us because we're bringing some very meaningful innovation for customers and for patients. Starting with contrast agents, we are sharing data from our phase 3 pivotal trial for Galloquatrain, which is a contrast agent that can be a new option, including a reduced dose, which plays a role also in sustainability, to your point. In the injectors space, we are also showcasing our state-of-the-art CT multi-patient injector Centargo, which was launched in the United States last year, and this year we're showcasing a very specific package for cardiac CT, which is an area with high need and with a lot of dynamic at this point. And also in the AI and digital space, we're bringing some very concrete use cases, and I'm sure that Rich will share a little bit more about that.
All right. So Rich, you're with the Calantic Digital Solutions business here at Bayer. Can you talk a little bit about that and what some of the things that you're highlighting?
Sure. So from our perspective with Calantic, I mean, we've seen this growing trend towards wanting to not only understand the technical deployment of AI, but also fitting that into clinical workflow. That seems to be a big theme that we are tying together. And so if you visit the Bayer booth, what you're going to see is stories around customer success, where we understand what exactly is the problem that the customer is trying to solve with AI, what's the deployment path that we recommended and worked on with the customer, what's the algorithm that's going to solve their needs, and then most importantly, the outcomes. And so we're really proud of kind of showing this evolution of AI, not just simply as a technical tool, but also fitting that with clinical workflow and applications and ultimately outcomes.
And can you talk a little bit about the vision that Calantic has for AI and kind of where you see the market going in the near future?
So a couple of things that you'll hear about with Bayer as the year unfolds. So I think that there's been, at the same time, there's been this rising interest in AI as an automation tool. We're a pharma company, we're a healthcare company, and making sure that we're focused on healthcare outcomes is super important to us. So you'll start to hear from Bayer things like responsible AI. So how do we help customers identify truly what they're looking for in terms of outcomes from AI, kind of recommend and direct them to the clinical applications that we believe are best suited to what they're looking to achieve, and then fit that into their clinical outcomes. The other is, I think that we all kind of assume that AI, once it's adopted, is going to magically result in outcomes. If there's 10 hospitals, they all have unique differences in terms of deployment. Some of it might be on-prem, some of it might be cloud, some of it might be fitting into the PACS environment. We have to think through all of those things to make sure that customers are getting what they need, because there's not one size fits all when it comes to AI. And maybe the last thing I'll say is, last year, I was asked a similar question. In my mind, being somewhat new to the digital solutions business, I was thinking that there was a need to increase trust in AI solutions, interoperability, or fitting into that PACS ecosystem I talked about, as well as return on investment. So all of those things are still relevant. We're not where we need to be yet as an industry. We're making a lot of progress, but for us, being able to bring that patient focus, that outcomes focus into the environment that we're recommending for the customer is super important.
Yeah. Awesome. Nelson, can you tell us a little bit about, in a broader sense, what we can expect from Bayer in the rest of 2025?
Sure. And maybe let me start by saying, Brian, because you asked about the theme of ECR, and the theme Planet Radiology this year is very close to our vision, to where we are today and where we want to be in the future. And I was sharing with you the example of Centaurgo, our injector for CT, multi-patient that we launched recently in the United States. And we are sharing here at ECR study in which in France at Simrod, where there were very meaningful impacts from an efficiency perspective, but also from a sustainability perspective. For example, with a reduction of waste by 66%. So that's part of who we are, and we want to continue to innovate with solutions that create benefits for patients, for our customers, and for the environment as well in the areas of contrast agents, in power injectors, and in the digital and artificial intelligence space.
All right, perfect. Well, Rich Dewit, Nelson Ambrogio from Bayer, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, signing off from ECR 2025, my name is Brian Casey.